Hello, friends. Welcome to the September online card class. Tonight, we are going to be using the Charming Day Bundle and the Floral Charm, if I can remember the name, designer series paper to make three beautiful cards, like a floral but autumn feel to them. So I think they're really pretty. I think you're going to like them. They're all thank you cards. They're just great. I don't know. They're just really pretty. Anyway, if you are here and joining me live, leave me a comment. Let me know if you are stamping along with me tonight or if you're just watching. And if you're catching the replay, welcome to you as well. I hope that you'll let me know if you are stamping along or if you're watching the replay. And of course, as always, let me know if there's any sound issues or anything weird going on, because who knows. Before we get started on tonight's cards, I wanted to talk about just a couple things that I have coming up. So I'm going to make myself look smaller so we can chat about this. There we go. All right. So registration is open for the Homemade Treats Christmas series. Now, this Christmas series, it's 10 weeks. It starts in October. It goes through the middle of December. Each week, there's going to be a new project. Okay. I'm going to be sending emails. In my regular Saturday email, I'm going to be sending the tutorial each week for that week's project. Now, everyone's going to get the tutorials, and they are awesome. The cards are so cute. I can't show them to you, but I should say cards and projects, because there's 3D items, there's fun folds. It's just, it's chef's kiss. And you're going to want to stamp along with them. So to make it easy to stamp right along with them, we have created what I'm calling a take and make kit, because we'll send it to you, and then you can make all the cards each week as it comes. And it's kind of like an advent calendar, right? Because each week, so it's like a weekly thing, not like a daily thing, but each week you get a new project. Each of the weeks is individually packaged, and there's like a special gift surprise that you can keep or give away or do whatever with that comes each week as well. So it's just really, really exciting. I'm going to put up, you can register for this over on my website. There is the address for you where you can pop over there. Now, along with that, I am offering an add-on class. Well, you can get this class individually, or you can add it on to your Christmas series, and it is the Jolly Holly class. Now, this is meant as a quick and easy class. All right. There's 10 different cards. And it should only, you should be able to do it like in an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Like, they're super simple, super easy. This is a way to get your holiday cards done, right? Done and over, fast and easy. And these you'll get all at once in your kit for the Homemade Treats Christmas series. Now, I am going to sneak peek the cards on this, because they're so cute and they're so simple. So let me show you really fast. We won't dwell too much, but so cute. Look at this. And the backgrounds are all textured. Everything is cut. There's nothing to die cut or punch or do anything. It's just putting them together. So stamping them and putting them together. So really quick and easy. That one. I love this one with the bird. Happy Christmas. So cute. And I love this one with the stockings too. So there we go. There are those 10 cards, 10 different cards. It's a really great deal. So, and when you can get it separately, but when you add it on to the Christmas series, you save $5. So it's a little bit of savings for you. All right, let's get started with tonight's class. This is the first card that we are going to make. Let me take this off here. All right. And we're going to start now. If you have, again, we're using the Charming Day stamp set, which I love, and actually the whole bundle, so the dies as well. And if you have some adhesive sheet, I strongly recommend using adhesive sheet for this first card. But we're going to start by doing just a little bit of cutting our pattern paper. So if you have the make and take kit, you can pull out your paper. And we want the one that's like this. That's Timid Tiger and Berry Burst. I love this one. Oh, this might be my favorite card tonight, but I don't know. Hello, Diana. This is the first time joining me live. Yay! And hello, Janet and Sherry and Pam. Oh my goodness. All my friends are here. Tanya, Lisa. We just got everyone. All right. We're going to cut this 2¼ inches by 3½ inches. So I'm just going to start by cutting this 2¼ inches by 3½ inches. There we go. So super easy. And I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to dump out the guts. Hello, Carrie and Carol and Shannon. Welcome, welcome. Dump out all the pieces. There are quite a few pieces for this. I went kind of layer crazy on this one, which is probably why I love it so much. I'm a layer queen. So we have a piece of Timid Tiger, a piece of Petal Pink, and who knew that Timid Tiger and Petal Pink could look so cute together. We have a couple of circles. You have your envelope, of course. Set mine aside. You have a couple pieces of Timid Tiger. These should be the same size. One of them we're going to cut from. One of them we're going to layer on. So I'm going to set that aside. And then, of course, you have some white for the inside and your card base, which is Timid Tiger. You love these colors, Lisa? I know, me too. Hello, Tina and Anna. All right, so I cut a piece of adhesive sheet, except I think I cut it just a little bit too big. So I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to make this 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That should fit on there pretty well. And I'm going to adhere this to one of those quarter pieces of Timid Tiger. So I'm just going to peel off one side, one edge, lay this down, and then I reach in and just peel off the other side. Pull that, and now there's one more. There's 3 strips. And I might not need this whole thing. I don't know. I didn't pull out the die and measure it. I just said we're gonna make it match the paper. So here we go. Now this is gonna give it a really cool, I think it looks almost like it's embossed, but actually it's just layering paper. So I'm gonna die cut this. I'm using this like detailed flower die. Lisa, this is just cardstock, so it doesn't matter which side you put it on. Does not matter at all. And I'm just going to die cut this. So let me pull out my die cutting plates. We are going to need to do this twice because we need 2 of these. And I'm just going to put one over here in the corner. I'm going to put my top plate on this, and then I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine, which of course I have over here on my shelf. Oh, and it's a big die, so it's a little bit, I don't know, it's tough. It takes some muscle. We're working out. The sticky paper, no, it doesn't matter which side you put the sticky paper on. You just want it on one side. I guess maybe I don't understand your question. You want to make sure that it's going to be on the back when you die cut it. Does that answer your question? So I can't think of which side or what it would make a difference. It just goes on. All right, so I'm going to punch this out. Come loose. It's kind of stucky in there. Hello, Mary Ann and Sydney. That sounds lovely. You guys are going into summer and we're all in fall here. All right, come out. That piece didn't cut quite through. Well, it's really the sticker back that didn't cut through. So there we go. I'm going to cut another one. So line this up on the other side. Oops. Hopefully that fits. I should have gotten a little bit closer to the edge, eh? I think it's okay. It'll be okay. Note to self, cut all the way to the edge. But that's okay. We're going to cut off the edges anyway, so it's okay if it doesn't quite fit. I'm going to run this through again. Whoa. Again, big die. We are working out tonight. We are getting a workout with our crafting. All right. So here we go. Here's our other one. Get this one out too. And then we're going to have to spend a minute and try to get those little inside pieces out. There's a spot here that just does not apparently want to cut very well. All right, so pulling this all out. There we go. I'm just going to throw away the scraps. And then I'm going to get out my take your pick tool. And I'm going to use this to just get rid of some of these extra bits, because each of these flowers, you can see in the center of them, they have little like cutouts for the center. So I'm just going to make sure those are going to come out. They might come out when I peel the backing off the sticker paper. Well, sometimes they don't though. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'm just going to kind of get them started, and we'll see if we need to do a little bit more touch up. But honestly, it's easier to get them now than to try to get them when the sticker is all sticky. When the sticker is all sticky, it's a little bit harder. And then you just peel those out. There we go. All right, so there's one. Come in, we'll do the other one. Ruth, you made it. Hello, Teresa. So I'm just going to get out these little insides. You can kind of just like peel them out, because the whole sticker back will come off. So that doesn't really matter. It's good enough. Go. Just kind of making sure that they're hopefully going to come out when I peel off the whole sticker back. Give them a shove. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to pull out a different take your pick tool. If I can find the right one. I'm going to grab this one because I have 3 different ones. Now you can, these are all interchangeable, right? Like you can change out these 2 ends. You can change out this end. This comes off, and you can turn this over, and you can just change it. So you could just have one handle. I just find it easier to have multiple handles. So I'm using the one that I say looks like a dental pick. It's my dental pick one. And I like to use this for getting that sticker backing started. Usually it helps. Watch tonight. I say that, and then it'll be like, no, not doing it. What are you talking about? Because that's always my my luck. Something that works when I'm not on camera does not work when y'all are watching. All right, there we go. So that'll just come off. And it's all sticky. Now, if you don't have the adhesive sheets, that's okay. You can just use adhesive. And of course, see, some of these didn't come out, so I'm just kind of jabbing them again from here. But then they stick. See, this is, they get sticky. It's sticky. And if they stay, it's fine. Now, I'm going to bring in, I have that other piece of Timid Tiger. And I'm just going to put this in the lower left corner and the upper right corner. And like I said, it can go off the edges. Actually, I like it to go off just a little bit off the edges. So there we go. There's the first one. And see how it's just like tone on tone? It almost looks embossed, but it's not. All right, so now we'll do the other one. There's all sorts of good on it. Not even need. So that one's coming off the edge, so I can peel that off. There we go. So there's the second one. That little chunk out of there. And then this, I'm going to put in the upper right-hand corner. So one in the lower left, one in the upper right, all the way to the edges, a little bit over the edges, and we'll trim those up. And that's what, isn't that pretty? All right, so grab your scissors, and we'll just come in, and I'm going to just flip this over, make sure it's stuck down, and I'll just trim the edges. And of course, they're going to stick to my scissors because they're sticky. You have them, but don't use them because you don't know how to put them on the cardstock. The sticker sheet. Go. Trim this off. Trim this off. I'll clean off my scissors in just a minute, I promise. Ugh. All right, so there we go. What happened? Oh, my phone did something funny. What is going on? All right, we're going to try to fix this. I don't know what's going on. So stick with me. Sorry about that. I don't know what is going on. I'm guessing it's like hot or something. Let's see what we can do. Right. There we go. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Hopefully I can get it back straight. It did freeze, but it actually like went off the screen. Like my camera like shut down. So I don't know what's going on. Things are just not working. I think it might be, it's a warm day here and it's not summer anymore. So I actually we have a like portable air conditioner. I put it away today. Maybe I shouldn't have. Because I think my phone is just really warm. And this week, did you know you can set up your computer to like be able to control your phone? I tried to do that this week and I don't know that it worked, but it worked enough that they connected. And I think now I need to turn it off because it is just pulling too much battery. But anyway, I digress. Let's get on with our card. We have that background now. Let's set this aside. And we should have, let's see. So we have a white circle. On my white circle, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And it says, thanks for being you, which I think is so sweet. Like, it could just be, like, hey, you're awesome. Or it could be like, thanks for doing this really cool thing for me, right? So I'm stamping this in Timid Tiger. And then I'm going to start adhering some things together. So we're going to adhere this circle to the Timid Tiger circle. I am, of course, using my green glue. Lisa, you took your air conditioner out yesterday. Well, I hadn't had mine on for a couple weeks, so I decided today was the day. I was pushing it in the closet. But all right, there's that. Now I have my piece of the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to adhere this to that piece of Timid Tiger, and it should just fit. So we'll put some green glue on the back of that. Oh, so pretty. Now, in your kit, you should have some twine. Now, this was the braided trim, and I was going to send you a full piece, and I forgot to like order the right amount. So anyway, I deconstructed it all for you. So you should have like 3 strands, and I'm just going to grab 2 strands, and I'm going to tie them around the bottom of this piece. And I love this. It is like rough and textury, so it ties really nice. It makes nice bows. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. I always like twine more than baker's twine. Like, or they call this linen thread, but I think it's even more textured than linen thread usually is. Or maybe no, they call this braided trim. So it is like a twine. I don't even know what I'm talking about tonight. But it makes really nice bows because it's got like roughness. So it stays. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? Now what I do when I use 2 strands, I like to hold the center and then pull 1 string on each side, and that just makes the loops different lengths. So you have those 2 loops, and now they're 2 different lengths, and it just makes it look a little bit fuller. So I like to do that. I'm going to pull in my card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I'm going to fold that in half and give it a good squish with my bone folder. And then I'm going to adhere that piece that we created. We're going to adhere this to it. A little green glue again. This just goes right on the front. And it's a little bit smaller. I just like the way that looks. Like it gives it just a little bit of a frame, even though it's tone on tone. Now, I am going to put this piece where we tied the bow. This is going to go on this piece of petal pink, but we're going to put it on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to pull out my Stampin' Dimensionals, stick these down. Grab my Take Your Pick tool, which put it back to what it was. I'm not using the dental pick. I'm using the regular pick, and I'm just stabbing it and kind of like scooping. So doing it at kind of an angle to pull those backs off. And this goes right on that petal pink. It's just a little bit popped up. And this goes on the card front. So, oh, so pretty. So pretty. Now we're going to add the thanks. And this again is going to go on some Stampin' Dimensionals. But we have to be careful because we don't want them to go too far to the side. We don't want it to go too much on this bow. And I should have moved this bow over just a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to kind of like put them here and here. So you like that look too, Jen? Me too. A little bit of an edge there. All right, so we're going to add our sentiment. Hopefully that works. There we go. And I'm going to trim up my little tails. And then let's make the inside. I'm going to just do something really quick on the inside. So I have a piece of white for the inside. And I just thought of this, like I hadn't planned this. I'm just going to take this flower right here. And I'm just going to stamp this down here in the corner with just a little bit of Timid Tiger. Just a little something. We'll put this on the inside of the card. You could do the same thing with the envelope too. Definitely. And then we'll be done with our first card. Hello, Laura. Thank you, Marianne. I'm glad you guys like this one. I just love the colors. All right. So there we go. There is our first card for this evening. With that gorgeous Timid Tiger. That's the only Timid Tiger we're using, sadly. All right. We are going to do our fun fold card. And I want to show you this fun fold card. Before, oh, you know what? We forgot our embellishments. I'm so sorry. I was like, wait, we forgot the embellishments. I'm going to pull these out. I'm going to find mine. So these are the Charming Shimmer Faceted Gems. And I'm going to add some of the petal pink ones. So I'm going to grab a big one and put it down here. And then a little one right next to it. And I'm not going on my Take Your Pick tool properly. And I do this the old-fashioned way with my fingers. Come here, you. Right. Let's get some new putty on my Take Your Pick tool. All right, for the putty end of your Take Your Pick tool, be careful when you push it out because it's not going to come out immediately. So you only need to turn it just a teeny tiny bit. And as it sits for a minute, it starts coming out more. But at first, it's going to look like nothing's coming out. That's okay. Just like wait, give it a minute. Right? I'm going to grab one more and I'm going to put it up here. So there we go. Now we're finished. We have those embellishments on there. Yay! All right, let's move these out of the way. Let's make our next card. This is the fun fold, and I want to show you what this looks like. So here it is from the front. Isn't that cute? And then you can slide this out and open it up, and it opens like this. So it can stand up. You know, you can get it to stand up like that. You can just look at it. It has these flowers that pop out in the center. This is what we're going to make this time. So let's start by cutting our designer series paper for this. And we need, let me show you which ones we need. We need that same piece, I believe. Yes. So this is that same piece with the timid tiger flowers on it, but we're going to use the back. And then we need this one with these beautiful dusty roses. And we're going to cut the dusty rose piece to be 3 1/4 inches by 4 3/4. So 3 1/4. Look at this way. I think it's kind of like unidirectional, like it goes all the directions, but I don't know. All right, and I'm going to cut it this way. And there we go. There's our gorgeous paper. So now we need to cut the green as well. And the green is going to be 1/2 inch, no, 1 inch by 4 inches. So I'm going to cut it this way, 1 inch. I'm going to do 1 inch and then turn it this way and do 4 inches. And there's our little bit of green. All right, before we start building this card, let's actually do the stamping for it. Because there is some coloring, and I think it's just going to be easier to get that done, and then we'll build the whole thing. So we have our envelope again. We have a circle, a piece of petal pink, a piece of mossy meadow with a score line in it, a piece of basic white that I'm going to grab, a piece of basic white thick with a score line in it, and a piece of mossy meadow. So I have all those. I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to just start with my piece of basic white, and this is what we're going to stamp on. So for this one, we are using the Great Big Flower, and I'm going to stamp this with Mossy Meadow ink. So it's going to get stamped with Mossy Meadow, and my Mossy Meadow tends to like not hold its ink evenly. So I'm going to make sure that I move my stamp all over. So hopefully I get a good even impression. I'm just going to stamp it up here. It doesn't matter where you stamp it because we're going to cut it out. So do this again. Ink, 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 ink. Probably over inking this. But I'm just lightly tapping each time. There we go. Beautiful. And we can put, actually, let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment too. We got the ink out. Let's stamp the sentiment. So I'm going to grab this the circle here, and we're going to stamp this. This uses the same sentiment. I don't know. I just really like this thanks for being you sentiment. So I'm going to clean mine off. I have this. I'm going to clean this stamp too because we're going to need it for the next card. And I'm going to stamp it, but this time I want to kind of try to stamp towards the bottom of my circle. All right. So I'm going to stamp it down here. Just like that. Very cute. And now I can put away my Mossy Meadow ink, and we will do some coloring. Yes. So we're going to do some coloring. You know what I think I did on here? I think I used just, let's see how this goes. All right. So I have some, I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at my sample going, which colors should I use again? All right. I'm going to start with my light petal pink, and I'm just going to throw down a layer of light petal pink on here. I got a brand new light petal pink. Well, I got both of them. I kind of miss being able to buy just the lights because do you know how many dark petal pink and crumb cake Stampin' blends I have? I have so many of the dark because I keep the lights keep running out. Most of the other ones I don't have that same problem with. Like they don't run out at the same time, but usually like one runs out and shortly after the other one does too. But petal pink and crumb cake. I think it's just because I use them so much. All right. So I just put a light petal pink in there. Now I'm going to come in with the dark petal pink. And I'm going to kind of just go around the outsides of the petals. Just adding in some dark. And actually, we can make it a little bit thick because we're going to come in with another color, I think. This is really hard. Like these flowers, I don't know what. I think this maybe is really rust. I do not own a really rust. Y'all, I've told you before, really rust is not my color. I do not own really rust Stampin' Blends. So instead, I'm going to grab my Timid Tiger Stampin' Blends. I'm going to add a little Timid Tiger to these, which I'm not sure I did on the sample card or if I just did it on other cards. So we'll see. I know I have done it and I know I was happy with it, but I might have like thought of it after I made these cards. That could very well be. So if it's not on the tutorial, that's fine. And I'm not looking at the tutorial tonight. All right. So I added that light. I'm going to grab my Timid Tiger. Let's try the light Timid Tiger. And now, actually, I'm going to use the bullet tip because I just want to add just a little bit in here. And again, just kind of like outlining the outside of the petals. Giving it a little extra depth. There we go. So pretty. We might go over this. I think we're going to go over it with the light again. And maybe that's why, is that I like to put down a layer of light and then put down my darker layers and then go over it again with the light. All right, there's one. Let's do the other one too. There's quite, like I said, there's quite a bit of coloring on this. These are big flowers and we need 2 of them. So going over all of this, adding it in. Gotta do kind of more in the center here. As I'm coloring, did y'all hear that Stampin' Up! Is having a stamp sale on Thursday? If you got 2 emails from me today, if you're on my email list, it's because in my brain, I thought today was the 17th. Today is not the 17th. Today is the 16th. So there's a stamp sale coming on Thursday, 15% off all the stamps except for last chance items. So I'm really excited. There's some stamps I've had my eye on that I've just kind of been waiting on. And I'm thinking those are going to be coming to my house. I'm just going over this again with my light petal pink, just kind of like to fuzz up all the edges a little bit more, blend it together. But that's what we're getting for our flowers. Now we're going to grab the Mossy Meadow. And I think I'm going to start with dark. And I'm just going to do the dark. This tip is killed on this Mossy Meadow. I'll just do it over here with my bullet tip. I also find that some of the blends, the tips get yucky faster than other ones. I think there's just different, like I think it's chemistry with the ink inside or something. Different colors act slightly different. So I'm just adding a little bit of dark Mossy Meadow kind of towards the bottom edges of all these leaves. Here we go. Very quickly. I'm not being too fussy about this. You guys, when I color, especially with blends, I am just not fuzzy. Ooh, look, I got a hair when I was stamping. Does that happen to anybody else? I don't know if you can see that. You see that? That was a hair. Happens to me all the time because I have a multitude of hair. That doesn't like to stay where it's supposed to on my head. All right. So coming down here and doing the same thing. Let me know how you're doing. Yes, Janet, I believe that the breast cancer stamp set will be on sale too. They didn't say any exceptions for something like that. So because it's a stamp set, I'm going to assume it's on sale as well. And that stamp is so pretty. So all right. Adding in all my dark mossy meadow, and then we'll go over this with the light. Kimberly, all of the measurements are available in the tutorial. Because this is the monthly card class, I don't always share all of the measurements, all right? But the tutorial is available on my website in the tutorial store, and you can go over there and grab them. So they are there. And of course, everyone who orders at least $100 in the month with me, they get not only the tutorials, but they get the card kit for free too. So, and my team gets the tutorials. It's kind of it's a bonus. So that's why I don't go through all the measurements. Normally on Tuesdays I do, right? Like for my fun folds and my sketches and all that kind of stuff. All right, so now I'm going over with the light. And again, like this tip is really smashed out too. I think it's just this color. It's a weird color. Oops, forgot one. All right. Thank you, Susan. Teresa, thank you, thank you. All right, so adding all this in, and then we can start building the card, which is really more of the fun part of this card, is actually building it. So there we go. All right, we're just coloring in here. We're almost done. Or I'm almost done. I don't know if you're almost done. Are you done coloring? Are you even coloring? Or are you just watching me color? Because you know how like people watching me color makes me anxious. All right, there's my two flowers. So pretty. Jen says they're stunning. Yes, love them. We're going to cut these out with the dies. So let me grab the dies. Again, we have to cut this twice. There's a big open die that is going to fit these flowers. So let me grab my cutting plate. I have my cutting plate here. We're going to add this in here. And I'm going to just line this up. And then I have, I think, a little piece of washi tape here to hold that down. You could use Post-it notes. You could use Post-it note tape, whatever you have. I just like to use something to kind of hold it in place. And then I'll cut this out. Run this through my cut and emboss machine. Pull this out. Here we go. So pretty. There we go. Yay. All right. And then we'll do this side too. Gotta get them both. And we can start doing our building. Well, I think we have to stamp one more thing. I forgot about a stamping. Oh, yeah. But no more coloring. At least not on this card. All right. So here we go. There's this. There we go. So pretty. Now, we're going to take that piece of basic white thick that you have, right? So we have this. It has a score line in the middle. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this on that score line. So we're folding it in half and giving it a good squish. And now we are going to cut a slit. So I'm going to put this in with the side. We're going to cut 2 slits on that fold. Okay, so this is about 3.5 inches. So at about 1.5 inches, I'm going to put that in at 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to cut down just about 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm just cutting a little notch, and I'm going to slide it down, and I'm going to slide it to 2 inches. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so just cutting about 1/2 inch down, just a little bit more. going through both of those layers. So you can see I have that flappy flap there. So Kim, you just popped in. I'm glad that you popped in while you're on vacation. Sounds lovely. All right. So now we're going to open this up and push that little flap forward. Okay. So it's like this. And you can just take it and push it, pop it the other direction, and then fold it down again. And that's going to make the little spot to put our flowers on. Okay. We maybe could have even gone down a little bit further, or I could have made that a little bit wider. Anyway, it should work. It should work. I don't want to go down too far because I don't want, yeah, we're going to stop. I'm going to stamp "You Made My Day." This is the stamping part that I forgot. So I'm just going to ink up the "You Made My Day" in Mossy Meadow and just stamp that down here on the bottom. So cute. And then, well, actually, we're going to come back and do this adhering later after we put this together. So let's see if I can remember how I did this. We have the Mossy Meadow. This we're going to fold in half on that score line as well. Okay, so this is just a little bit bigger than the white. Hair on me. I'm telling you, hair is everywhere. And we're going to adhere this white to the inside, and it's just going to line up right on the crease. So it's going to go right on there. We'll just add some adhesive. I'm going to start by putting adhesive on the bottom. And I'll just put that fold right up to the fold line. And adhere that in. Okay. So that's just right up to that fold line. And then we'll add adhesive. Make sure this closes. Yep. Add adhesive on the top. And of course, not on that little notch. So this is just, actually, we'll close the card and then we'll make sure it's in the right spot. So there we go. So cute. Now I'm going to close this. We'll come back. We'll do the inside in just a minute. Well, no, we'll do the inside now. No, we'll do the inside in a minute. I can't decide which order I want to do this in. So I have the piece of Petal Pink. Okay. I'm going to put that piece of the Designer Series paper right on top of the Petal Pink. And just glue that right on. And then this is going to go on my card front. So cute. So we'll glue this right on the card front. This card is actually pretty easy to make. Now, you want to be careful because we want it to open like this. So we're actually going to take it right here's the bottom. We're going to put it here. So the fold is at the bottom and the open part is at the top. Okay. Fold at the bottom, open part at the top. Add on our pretty paper. So pretty. So pretty. And now that piece of Mossy Meadow, it is scored in half as well. So we'll go ahead and fold that. Oh, I missed the center on that. Wow, I hope I didn't do that on all of them. Huh. I think they're just the wrong size. I'm going to trim off that edge. Silly me. All right, so for some reason, whichever side that is a little bit too long, go ahead and just trim off 1/8 of an inch. And that's going to make it the right size. I don't know how I did that. Sorry about that. So we'll just take 1/8 of an inch off the long side. We have that. And then I'm going to add my piece of pattern paper to that front. Your fold is good, Jean, so it was just mine. All right, that could be. I might have just gotten sloppy. All right. So we'll add this here. Just like that. Now this I'm going to put on the back. So I'm going to put adhesive right here. Right? So my pattern paper's here. open that up and put adhesive down here. Now don't put it all the way to the edge. I'm just going to put it in here first. Okay, and this, we're going to put this so it's centered. Okay, and we can actually pull it down just a little bit. I'm pretty sure we have just a little, well, put it up to the fold. Don't listen to me. All right, there we go. And then this folds down, and we're going to leave that. Okay, we're going to leave that, and we are just going to tie it shut with another piece of twine. So you have one more piece of twine left. We'll just tie this. Okay, so I'm going to tie this in a bow. And this is going to hold it shut. Now, this also means that if they're having trouble, like they're not sure, whoever you send this to isn't sure how to open it, they can untie this piece of twine, and that will also open the card. So you can slide it out or you can untie it. Either way will work. So we'll just add this piece of twine to the top. I love this petal pink twine. And I tied my bow upside down, so it looks funky. It looks funky. Just try to roll it up. Here we go. All right, trim the edge. Now we still have that circle. Remember that circle? I'm going to put this on. I'm just going to slide it in, and I'm going to slide. Oh no, I froze it again. All right. Let me figure out my phone again. It just keeps like shutting down. There we go. I don't know what its problem is this evening. How's that? There we go. So this circle right here, I'm just going to adhere it and kind of slide it in under that top. So we'll put some adhesive on the back. And this just helps me get it in the right spot so it looks how I want it to look when the card is closed. So just slide that in. Just like that. And now we have to add our flowers. So we're going to open this back up. You can slide that open. We're going to take one of these and we're going to adhere it to, hopefully I made that flap big enough. We're going to adhere it to that flappity flap. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the front of this little bump. Okay. And I'm going to adhere my flower right to that. And I'm just gonna, all right, I'm gonna actually close this to get this to adhere well. I'm just gonna close it and hold it down for a second. I think when I made the original, I made the flap just a little bit bigger, and I should have done that this time. All right, let's see if that is enough. There we go. All right, that works. See, just like that. Now the second one, I'm gonna come in and add it up here. And I'm going to add it like this, but I'm going to put it on a dimensional so it pops up a little bit too. So we got all sorts of dimension on this, on our little rose garden inside our card. I don't know about you, but my roses are pretty done. I am so, which is probably my fault. My roses get bugs really bad. And at the beginning of the summer, I'm really good about spraying them and making sure that I'm like taking care of them and I'm tripping off the dead heads and all that kind of stuff. And then the summer gets really hot and I start to not do as well. So, all right, there we go. I'm going to trim this off just a little bit. And so by the end of the summer, my roses look pretty awful. I keep freezing. Yeah, Kim, and I'm having some trouble with my camera too. So it has frozen a couple times on me, but it should be back now. So, all right. So there's our card and we can just slide this, kind of fold it and tuck it back under and close it up and it's ready to pop in the envelope and send away. So there we go. Card number 2. Whew, we did it. I'm going to clean up some stamps and then we're going to make card 4. And I need to go clean out my chamois. Kind of like don't clean it for a long time. And then I'm like, ooh, it's getting dry and yucky. Oh, thank you guys. I'm so glad you guys are loving it. Yay. All right, so card number 3, let's start. I'll show you what it looks like. This one has a basic beige and berry burst look to it. Oh, just love it. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. We're going to start by cutting the designer series paper. So let me grab the DSP that we need. So we need this one. This is actually the only piece. We're going to use both sides of this. It's so pretty. Oh, this paper is just so pretty. So I'm going to start by cutting this 3 3/4 by 5. And actually, I'm going to cut, well, no, I'm going to cut 3 3/4 by 5. So there's 3 3/4 and then 5 this direction. And then I'm going to cut another 1/2 inch strip that is 1/2 inch by 5 inches. So 1/2 inch by 5 inches. And this, we're going to actually use the back of it. We're going to use that berry burst side. Let's do a little bit of stamping. Let's look at all the guts in our card bag. Your favorite DSP, isn't it? Oh, so pretty. Make sure to remember, add it to your order when you order some sale stamps on Thursday. All right, here's my envelope. We have an envelope. Stick that over there. We have a piece of white for the inside. We have a scrap of white for stamping. You have a piece of basic beige that I cut with the stylish Shapes dies. And we have a piece of berry burst and a piece of basic beige for the base. So let's start by doing some stamping. I need this little piece of basic beige and I need the white. And we're going to start by stamping the basic beige with our sentiment. I'm going to use early espresso for this. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment with early espresso. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to stamp it towards the top of my little rectangle. Just like that. So it says, you made my day. Oh. And then I'm going to stamp this single flower on the white. And we'll color this. We're going to color this with Berry Burst and Mossy Meadow and a little bit of Pecan Pie. So I'm going to start with some Berry Burst. I think I'll start with the dark. Do that towards the center. Towards the bottom of the petals. So add in that dark, and then I'm going to come in with the light and go over top of that. And just color very quickly. I like to leave little bits that are just a little bit white. If you look at the DSP, you will notice that the coloring on their flowers often have little bits that are still white. And I find that it gives it that same like quick, sketchy look to it. So I like to do that too. So I did that. Now I'm going to do my Mossy Meadow again. And again, we're going to come in towards the bottom of my leaves and just kind of add in some dark. Some dark Mossy Meadow down here. And then go over that whole thing with the light. It is bad. I'm going to use the bullet tip. Not usually what I use, but I think it's time for new ones of these. Just coloring that over with the light. Again, quick, leaving some white bits. And then I'm going to use my Pecan Pie. I'm going to start with the light, I think. Just want to see what it looks like. So I'm just adding some light to the center there. And then I'm just going to kind of dab in some of the dark. So I'm not even going to like make a lot. I'm just going to kind of dab in a little bit of the dark. Now, one thing I wanted to do on this flower is I wanted to give it a little bit more of a wash look. So I came in with my color lifter and I just went over the petals and the leaves. And it's going to kind of give it a mottled look. It's going to make it look kind of speckly as it dries. And I just thought it was really fun for this look. I'm going to do a little bit more. Just kind of, again, makes it look painted almost. Let me see if I can show you that. You see how it's just kind of speckly, and that's from that color lifter. Some of the colors, usually it's the darker colors, do it more. They give it more of a speckly look. Browns usually work really well, so it's good for like animals. Some of them don't do it as much, but those worked pretty well. So I'm going to cut these out with the die. Our last die cut. This card should come together very quickly. So I'm going to put that die on there. Again, grab just a little piece of old washi tape that I have, hold that down, and cut this out. Run this through my cut and emboss machine. All right. There we go. There's my die. Oh, pull this off carefully. There's that flower. So pretty. So, so pretty. Just kind of throwing things around on my table here. If you guys could see my table after I get done, it's a mess. It is a mess. All right. I'm going to start by putting on my strip of DSP on my piece of DSP. So I'll just put some green glue on here. And then, come here, you. We'll add this down the right side. Just like that. Just kind of gives us a little something extra, a little stripe. And then this goes on that piece of Berry Burst. So I'll pop this on here. Just like this. Yay! There we go. And now we're going to put this on our card front. So we have a 4 1/4 by 11 inch base this time. So it opens at the top instead of the side. And I'm just going to adhere my layered designer series paper on the front of here. Oh, so pretty. I love this Berry Burst with the basic beige. I did a bad job folding my cardstock. Did not match up very well. Oh well, should have flipped it over. All right, I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. We're going to get dimensional happy here. So I have this with dimensionals. Pull those backs off. And this is going to go in the lower right corner. And this is why I like to have the stripe. I like to put a stripe on here because I like my things to feel grounded. Okay, like so not all the time, but a lot of the time I don't like it just to be like floating in space on my card. And so I feel like that stripe helps ground my image to my card front. Now I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals as well. So put like 3 dimensionals on there. Told you I'm going dimensional happy now. And then this is going to come in here like that. And now we're going to add some bling. Let's add some bling and make it blingy. Don't you love that paper? Oh, so pretty. All right, where's my take your pick tool? Hello. It ran away on me. Like, seriously. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Found it. All right. I'm going to take your pick tool. I'm going to use the Berry Burst ones for this card. So I'm going to add one up here, a big one. I'm just going to tuck it under that leaf a little bit. And then I'm going to grab a small one. Like to flip over. And just add this right here. And then I'm going to grab another small one. And I'm going to put it down here in this corner. So just 3 kind of in a little triangle. And of course, we can add Um, we can add this to the inside. I was going to say we could add a flower. Let's add a flower on this one. It's going to be a brown flower because that's what color we are right now. But there we go. Just a little flower. We'll add this to the inside. You could color that too. This just affirms how much you love the stamps and paper. I know, me too. I have loved working with this bundle. It's been a really, really good one. And I'm so glad that I chose it for this class. Next month's is going to be really good too, because next month we're going to be using the Gathering Moments bundle, which I love, love, love that one as well. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? Those little blings. It's all there. Super quick and easy. So those are our 3 cards for this evening. We got 1, 2, where'd my third one go? 3 quick and easy. Well, not quick and easy, but 3 cards. Some easier than others. I hope that you all have enjoyed this. Don't forget, you can earn this next month's card class for free. Like I said, we are going to be using the Gathering Moments stamp set, which is so pretty. And the paper that we're using with this is so pretty too. I'll let you know, we're using the Gathering Together, the one in the suite, and it's gorgeous to die for. So the Gathering Moments bundle, we're going to use that for next month's card class. You can earn it free when you order at least $100 through me in the month of September. So when you're shopping on Thursday during the sale, if your order is at $80, you might want to just bump it up so you can get that free card class. So, all right. Otherwise, you can register for it too. You can pop over to my website and register for all of my classes. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I have hoped that you have had as much fun as I have had crafting together this evening. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday, we are going to do a really cool technique. I'm excited to share it with you. And I will see you then. Have a great evening.